The prerequisite to this video is Deep Secrets to Improvising Part 1. So, if you haven't yet, go watch that one first, then come back and continue with this one. Yo, in the previous lesson of the series, we introduced the idea of events. In the second installment, we're going to go over how to practice your events and how to connect them together to create a seamless piece of music. Coming right up. Now, at the beginning of every one of my music and guitar lessons that I do here, we start with a warm-up improvising off of events. It usually goes something like this. Okay, first event. Which one did you say?
Loud.
Loud.
Feel summer.
Feel summer. Alright, so we have a feeling, we have dynamics.
Feel see.
Sometimes I'll add something of my own to the list, sometimes I don't, but once we complete the list as a class, we review it, and then we start to play. Now these are called event lists, and they are an important and creatively fun way to practice improvisation and composition as well. In this video, we're going to investigate how to practice events using these event lists and how to go about connecting events together. First, let's become aware of how transitions function in music, especially improvisation. This will help us learn how to connect our events. Let's look at a few improvisers and notice how different ideas are connected. it might be good to visualize an approach to improvising events. So, imagine you are building a huge contraption with sound. Each different piece of the contraption is a different event. Each piece or event connects to a new piece by way of a transitional device, like a puzzle. Sometimes all you need is space or silence to bridge your events. Sometimes you can jump from one event to the next, smashing two separate events together. Sometimes the contrast of a sustained passage between two busy events works wonders. Transitions themselves can be just as important and as varied as events. Remember, many times you don't even have to concern yourself with connecting events. You might be playing under a single event, such as an atmosphere, or just playing a mode or something like that, right? So you're playing under the umbrella of a single event. For example, maybe my event is I will create a improvised custom scale, right? Custom scales, always a great thing to get into, right? Create your own scales, right? So, for example, my goal is to create a scale and improvise on it at the same time. Therefore, I'm not thinking about connecting different ideas, right? For example, maybe something like this. All I'm doing there is just thinking of one scale, one event. There's really nothing to connect. Now, let's look at how to practice improvising these events. Do you remember the example of event lists that I mentioned near the beginning of this video? Well, a great way to practice these events is to make these lists and then use these lists as a guide to improvise off of. Now, you want to start fairly simple at first and then gradually start to mix things up a little bit. Okay, now my first choice for an event for this simple event list would be to play two chords and to be played arpeggiated and with variations. My second event would be the feeling of somber. And my third choice of an event would be a visual, such as watching a campfire. And I think all three of these events will work great together. Okay, now that I have all these events lined up in a list, I am ready to improvise around them. And if I have an atmosphere event, in this case, somber, I want to put myself there in that place. And I want to play there, right? Now, while I play, I want to keep in mind all of the events on the list and try my best to use them all, right? This particular list is pretty simple and we don't have to think about connecting them or the transitions between any events just yet. But let's level ourselves up now and move on to a stronger event list, all right? So my first choice of an event for this next event list would be to play only prepared instruments. Should be fun. My second event would be collage. And that's all I want to say. I'll leave the rest up to the players, right? How they will perceive what the word collage means to them. My third event would be sound effects. Again, I'll leave that up to the players. And my fourth event is machine. And I think this will help us think more about connecting events, the idea of a machine. And my final event is busy. And maybe this will help push our idea of rhythm for this improvised event list. Okay, I hope you're getting the idea of how these event lists work. For example, that last one I think is great for practicing transitions and connecting events, right? Now, a great way of using these event lists is with your band, especially as a warm-up activity before rehearsal or during your rehearsal sessions. It doesn't matter what kind of music your band plays. These event lists are great for helping you just get warmed up or to get your creative juices flowing, to bring your band's collective mind together, or to quickly create a comfortable and relaxing atmosphere. Great for experimenting as a unit or for even coming up with new material. It's tons of fun thinking of some event ideas for your band's rehearsal beforehand. Or invite some friends over and just let loose on a few event lists. It's a great evening activity. Solo event sessions have endless possibilities. It's a perfect way to put some thought and practice into how you connect events or create improvised transitions between each event. Okay, now it's time for you to think up your own event lists and practice them. Practice improvising with them. Practice your transitions with them. Get some friends together. Use them with your band, okay? These event lists are a great way of practicing improvising. Anyway, please stay right here at Not Right Music. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. See you next time.